Assalamu alaikum and welcome to The Entrepreneur. And as you know, we always have brilliant individuals on this show who have been very successful in the field of business. And we're very grateful to them when they come on the show and share their stories. So today's guest is Mohammed Junaid from Boilers 24/7. He's a young entrepreneur and he's been in the business for the last 5 to 10 years in the field of business, I would say. But we'll learn a bit more about him. Assalamu alaikum, Junaid bhai, how are you?
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Bye. How are you?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Brilliant. Now, tell me about Boiler 24/7. What's it all about?
It's a boiler engineering company, basically. We provide property maintenance, plumbing, and essentially gas safe work.
Right.
Boiler installations, repairs, etc., etc.
Okay, you must be very busy.
Alhamdulillah.
People do need boilers,
That's right, yes.
heaters and all that kind of thing. So what else do you do apart from installing boilers? You mentioned repairs, did you?
Yeah, I do a lot of property maintenance, just general,
Right.
repairs. So from tiling, plumbing, bathrooms, installations, things like that. So
Fantastic,
yeah.
fantastic. And most houses, all houses will need a boiler. How long have you been around?
I established Boilers 24/7 2018.
Okay,
So nearly 5 years now.
okay, yep.
Yeah.
And how's that going for you? Good?
Alhamdulillah, yeah, it's probably the best thing I've done. Alhamdulillah, I have to say, yeah.
So tell me, why did you go into this particular business, and why did you? I mean, you could be working for a company. However, you chose to open up your own company. How did that come about?
I've been self-employed all my life, really. I had an occasion where I was working part-time, working for people, which is fine. But I had this ambition. I was very charismatic.
Yep.
I wanted to do well. You know, my father was self-employed.
Okay.
People around me were self-employed. They've done good, they've done bad. But,
of course.
you know,
As
I say
business goes.
that's it. But if you're passionate, ambitious, ready to fail as well, that is part of
Absolutely.
being successful.
Absolutely.
And you learn your way, you'll get there. As long as you're compassionate and you know what you want at the end game. So this is...
So as a youngster in school, did you always want to become a plumber? Or
No, I never thought I'd be in this kind of field, to be honest, at all. I thought it'd be an office job, something like that, which I've done. I was an estate agent prior to this, ran the business for 6.5 years, and from that is where I actually got into the
I can
maintenance
see the
side
link.
of
Is
it.
estate agent dealing with properties.
That's right.
And then you've got your expertise in the boiler field.
That's right.
But obviously you had to do courses and stuff like that.
Of course, I spent 1.5 years doing the gas safe course,
Right.
City and Guilds.
Mm-hmm.
So once, during that course, I was a bit ambitious.
Yeah.
I went out on jobs, looking for jobs like this.
Okay.
And as I was learning, I was doing real life jobs with qualified gas engineers supervising me.
Mm-hmm.
And you learn on the job.
Right.
And makes life easier when you're at the exams towards the end.
Okay.
Of your
Well, I
course.
mean, this show to the viewers is all about how you become a businessman, but how you get into this particular field. And as Mohammed Junaid has mentioned, he's worked in the property sector, and you can see the link. So one thing leads to another, and it's all about picking up and learning the trade. And obviously, you've got to be passionate about whatever you're in. So pick up on that one. Now, Junaid bhai, again, would you say that you opened up a company or you went into business so you can provide jobs for others? Because at the end of the day, it's all about your intention, and with being successful yourself, and then in this business you are providing a service to everybody else as well. How many staff? Can I just ask? How many staff do you have? You don't have to give me a specific amount. But
Yeah, I've got a handful of staff who work for me.
Yeah.
When I'm really busy, I have subcontractors who work
so
on my
you are
behalf.
providing jobs, and
Of course.
for myself, if I'm in the field of business, and one thing I do like is I can say that these are the jobs that I'm providing. I'm taking people, people who are unemployed, and I'm providing a job. It makes me feel good. Is that the same for you?
That's right. Yeah, it's just all about creating opportunities. It's it's not just about earning money. It's about self-satisfaction
Yeah.
in the sense that it's doing something for other people. It's
Okay.
always been at the back of my head.
Right,
So
right.
when I'm doing something for myself, I always think of others.
Absolutely.
And, you know,
Fantastic.
creating opportunities is one of the key things for myself.
Right, right.
You
So
know.
you say so you let's just understand this, that you were in the estate agents business,
Yeah.
and then this came about knowing that I can do home improvements.
That's right.
And obviously boilers are part of it.
That's right, yes.
Okay, all right, fantastic. Now, as every businessman have families as well, or personal life, how do you deal with that? How do you go about? Are you married?
Yes, married to nearly 15 years now.
Fantastic.
Alhamdulillah,
Okay,
yeah.
you look very young. I've got to say. So, children?
Yeah, I've got 2 boys.
Okay. School runs?
I pass on that one.
Yeah?
Yeah, wife does
They're
that.
big now, yeah?
Yeah.
They're
that's
older,
right.
so they can go to school themselves. So how did you manage all that, your house or family and business? Because it's a busy schedule, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Did you have a supporting family?
I've got
Tell me a little bit
supportive
about that.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a big family. Mum, dad. We've had my nanny, daddy
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Passed away a few years ago.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're a big family. You know, we help each other where we can. Big part of it is my wife who helps me
Yeah.
with the kids, family. Half
Very
the time,
helpful, isn't it?
yeah, it does help. You think things like this you take for granted, but finding a balance is important.
Absolutely.
And if you can, aim for that and have that, on a daily basis, thinking about having a balance, then everything will fit in.
Yeah.
Yes, you're charismatic. Yes, you want to make something out of your business, but things will fall in place. It is what it is. You've just got to find a balance, and things will work out.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's all. Everything that we talk about in life is all about balance. Isn't
that's
it?
right. Yeah,
You give your time, the right time, in the right place. Or sorry, they say there's a saying that right time, right place, or something like that. Anyway,
Yeah.
but it's all about balance. So you give your family the time that they deserve as well. You can't neglect that.
of course.
And obviously, business is priorities. But you got to prioritize it, right?
That's right. Yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, this is first hand I've experienced. When I say things will fall in place,
Yeah.
you'll have customers contacting you to do this, to that. If they really want you, they will wait.
Yeah.
And I've found that, if you're providing a service, a good service to them, they will remember you.
Yeah.
And it's not just about how you look or what you've done. It's how you leave them, essentially, your customers. If you leave them happy, they will remember that. They're not going to remember, oh, he's worn this or he looked like this. It's how you leave the
No,
customers.
absolutely,
message.
absolutely.
So
I mean, the boiler's not going to work by you looking good, is it?
No,
It's
but
the
that's-
service
that's
that
it,
you give.
yeah.
So tell, just for the viewers, in your type of business, what would be a few things that you would say, because every business is different. So in your type of business, that a customer will come back to you because of A, B, and C.
Yeah. Well, essentially, it's how you approach them, the service you provide, how you talk to them, adapting and overcoming situations.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have all sorts of customers out there. It's just adapting and overcoming. Help them where they need.
Well, if I was to call you up for a
Educate
boiler,
them.
first of all, is it just domestic or you also commercial?
I do domestic. I'm going in the line of commercial as well.
So at the moment you're domestic.
Yeah.
So if I was to call you up and something's wrong with my boiler and you come in, or maybe the old boiler's gone and you are here to install a completely new boiler, right? What would you do that I would call up my friend and say, you know what, go to this company, they've given me this service?
That's a good one, actually. There's a lot of engineers out there.
Absolutely,
There's
yes.
a lot of engineers. Like I said,
And most people, they don't know about boilers. I mean, unless you're in like yourself, I don't know anything about boilers, how it works, what the parts are. You could be telling me anything. It's just like cars, mechanics, you've got to trust them.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So, same with you. So,
I treat them as if it was my own relatives or family and friends.
Okay.
Make them feel comfortable.
yeah,
Educate them. Tell them this is wrong, why it's wrong.
yeah,
Do a bit of research, pass the research on to them, so they're in the loop as well.
yeah.
So they're not doing things blind. And then, it'll be their decision rather
Yeah.
than you making the decision for them.
But you'll recommend, let's just say, a type of boiler, for example, the best one for the house or for whatever house it is. because it depends of insulation and maybe I don't know how many double glazings they've got and this, that, and the other. So many things play a part, isn't it?
That's right.
So
yes.
you would obviously direct them in the right way.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's all about educating them.
Yeah.
You'll tell them there's different sizes of boilers out there. Some people will, oh, give me the biggest boiler. You don't really need to go down that route.
Yeah.
You educate them. You tell them X, Y, and Z. These are the reasons why, and again, put it onto them.
So would you say that not to sell them the most expensive boiler, so you can pocket a little bit of dough if you like, but you would stir them in the right way and say, well, you know what, you don't need this expensive one, you need this one here, and and make sure that this gives the right service. And would you say that is an investment in itself, that even though you're giving them a slightly cheaper boiler, but you know that this customer is going to come back to you if there's something wrong with it?
No, I mean, the way I do things is, again, I want the customers to come back with a positive feedback.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not for something that's wrong. So I always think, rather than going down for the cheapest boiler or whatever it is, I would.
They don't come cheap, do they?
No, they're not. They're not. I mean, they have come down a lot, but again, it's still not cheap. But I would stick to what I feel comfortable, what I would put in my own house.
Yeah.
You've got mid-range, you've got high-range.
Yeah.
But 9 out of 10 times, you don't need to go to the high level. So I always show them, look, this is what I've put throughout my career, to be honest, and I haven't had any faults. You educate them about the company, why you say this is good, etc., and go from there. And 9 out of 10 times, they go on your trust. They go on the knowledge that you're passing on to them.
Right. Okay. Right. So, as every businesses have ups and downs, have you faced any hurdles? Maybe you can tell our viewers that something they can avoid.
What I would
this could
say,
be general. It could be just.
Yeah, generally, I mean, to be honest, what I would say is, again, when I said earlier on, be ready to fail. You're going to have ups and downs. But as long as you're strong, you're committed, you're putting the time and effort into it, you will succeed. It's not all about succeeding and earning money. It's about self-satisfaction as well. And you've got to find a balance to that as well. You can't be greedy. You've just got to take your time. Things won't happen overnight. It didn't certainly happen for me. It took time. 5 years down the line, like I said, this is the best thing that's happened to me, alhamdulillah. But if you've got commitment, you've got drive, you're passionate, and when you're doing your job with conviction, do it as if you're doing it as a hobby.
Right.
Because when you're doing it as a hobby and when you're thinking about the job in hand, the end result will be good. And I don't mean just the job in hand. I'm talking about customer satisfaction.
Yeah.
That's important.
Okay.
You've got to leave them happy.
Absolutely. So have you faced any problems in your business? Maybe with the customers or maybe...
I've been very cautious. I've been very careful when I first started my business. Nobody wants to flop or go down that route. And failure wasn't an option for me.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm nearly, 30 plus.
You told us your real age earlier on,
Yeah.
but we're not going to mention it. Yeah.
Okay. But, you come to a stage in life, you want things to be stable for yourself, your family, and your career. And yes, you've got to be ready to fail. But alhamdulillah, I haven't had any failures as such yet.
That's good.
So fingers crossed. So
that's good. Well, you've been very lucky because in businesses, like you said, you need to be ready to fail. But it's not just about failing; it's about how to handle, any situation.
That's right.
It's called occupational hazard.
That's right.
In business, something could be, it could be anything. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
But obviously, you minimize the risks. You do your due diligence and preemptive measures, and then you don't. But
it's not
after
a bad
all
thing.
that,
Failure is not a bad thing. If something fails or you've done something wrong, it's a learning curve. Turn the negative into a positive.
Absolutely. Yes.
When you do that, you will learn and you'll think of the long run, and it will work out, inshallah.
I think making a few mistakes in the field of business is a good thing.
Of course.
Okay, right. And any future plans for your business? Maybe expanding?
I am thinking of expanding, yes.
Yeah.
So watch this space, inshallah. That's all I can say for now. But inshallah, I do plan to have a few vans out there and, get a team going.
Right,
So I can cover in different areas. At the moment, I cover Essex, and London. I
Okay.
would like to go up, different parts of the country as well.
Nationwide?
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
Inshallah, yeah.
So you'll be you're thinking of obviously you've got to have a good management team as well.
That's right, yeah. Because at the moment, my service is not just a 9 to 5 job. I am out on 24 hours call outs.
Right.
So
Okay.
4 o'clock in the morning, I'm there.
Right.
So this is the kind of, the niche market
Mm-hmm.
that you need to look for. So this is what I provide,
Yep.
and that's what sets me out from the rest.
Absolutely.
There's not many people who would come out 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the
Yeah,
morning.
yeah. You see, this is the
And-
thing. I mean, this is if you do provide that service because nobody else is, or not many people are doing it.
Yeah.
You'll get jobs at that
And this
time.
is what your customer will remember at the time of need, whatever time of the year or whatever. At the time of need, you're there, the smiling face, and you're confident. You do the job properly. They will remember you. It will not be about money or how high the quotation is or how cheap it is.
Yeah.
It's how you leave them essentially.
It's, I think, more reliability when it comes to your
That's
type
right.
of business.
Yeah.
And like you said, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, if somebody calls you, because people can have problems at any time. Now, why is it that boilers go bad in winter, mostly?
I would say it's a lack of servicing.
Yeah.
You've got to look after your boiler. It's a machine at the end of the day.
Yeah.
People forget. They just put it at the back of their head and think it's a machine. It'll do its job or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like a car. Every
Yeah.
year you want something out of something, you've got to look after it. So just like servicing a car every
There's
year or
two
so,
things
you've
that
got
I've
to-
noticed in my field of business, and we have a lot of fridges, and we have a lot of well, not a lot of maybe one boiler, but in winter, in summer the fridges go bad, and in winter maybe we're not doing our services correctly. But even after servicing, and the air condition is another something else which it's in the time of need kind of thing. So summertime you need the air conditioning, you need the fridges,
Yeah.
and they tend to go bad. Boilers, you need it, especially in the winter for your heating. In the summertime people don't use heating, but they use the hot water, right?
That's right, yeah.
So you were saying that it's because of lack of servicing.
Yeah, it's lack of service, to be honest. Any boiler, even a brand new boiler, you'll do, something will go wrong. It's technology. There's a lot of technology
Yeah,
behind it as well.
Nowadays it's more, do we have
Yeah.
smart boilers?
yeah. So there's a lot of electrics
Everything's
and
becoming
stuff.
very smart.
That's it, yeah.
Goodness me. Right. Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you very much for all those advices. Also, I mean, just give us a few tips for anybody who's watching the show and who'd like to, go into the field of business. We have a lot of youngsters
Yeah.
that watch the show.
Yeah.
And so what kind of tips would you give them?
Well, I mean, I've got a lot of trainees who come to me. I train them, for various sections of their courses as well.
Yeah.
So I would say to them, take things steady. Things will not happen overnight.
Yep.
Take each step as it comes and be ready to fail,
Right.
because you will stumble, you will fall, but it's about getting up and having that drive, being passionate about what you want to do. And if you've got the aim where you want to be in life, then you will not fail in that section, inshallah.
Fantastic. That's one tip you give me. Give me
Yeah.
another one.
Adapt and overcome. You will have these hurdles.
Okay.
So,
So be
adapt
ready to
and-
face
That's it. Be ready to
any
face.
kind of problem.
Yeah. It's all man-made. Anything can be done. If the next man can do it, why
Yep.
can't you? That's what I said to myself. If he can do it, why can't I? It's all about training the brain
Definitely.
and taking your time.
Training the brain. I like that. I like that. Give me one more, last tip, and then we'll wrap it up.
Remember, customer satisfaction. That's very important. Don't go
So
out there just for
put
yourself.
the customer first,
Customer
not
first.
yourself.
Not yourself.
In other words, don't be greedy.
That's right, yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, well, thank you very much, Mohammed Junaid. And just to the viewers, you've seen what he had to say in his type of business, and just in general, we would say any type of business, customer satisfaction definitely comes first, because if the customers are not happy, they're not going to give you your bread and butter. So once again, I'll just mention the tips. I think be ready to fail is what Mohammed Junaid has mentioned, and balance is another thing. So, balance everything out, whether it's business and everything else that surrounds your business, especially family, because they need time as well. And don't be greedy. So thank you very much for watching us. So, watching us, I was going to say, watching us, watching the show, and hope you've learned something. I definitely have. And until next time, assalamu alaikum.